Hello everyone, welcome back once again. In the first lecture of probability, we have got a brief abstract view of the vocabulary in which a lot of words were comprised to understand the meaning of the probability, in which we have discussed about some basic definitions of terms which are commonly used in the probability when we come across the questions of the probability and concepts of the probability. And in this video, I gonna discuss about the conditional probability in detail, and also I will take a lot of examples to exemplify the questions of the probability. So if I talk about conditional probability, also we will discuss about independent events which will be submerged into the conditional probability. Okay, so as far as the conditional probability is concerned, you should take one thing in your mind. Here condition word is mentioned. It's mean that it is something like when you have some condition, and on the basis of that particular condition you have to find the probability of a particular event to occur. Okay, for example, if I consider a random experiment of rolling of a die, and if I consider two events associated with this random experiment, let's say one event is when you roll the die and outcome will be there. Let's say the outcome is predefined. It's mean that let's say you are already given that the outcome is an odd number. This is already given to you, so it is like a help for to you. It's mean that whatever the outcome, that will be out of a odd number out of the sample space of rolling of die. It's mean that the sample space of rolling of die experiment will be this, and it is predefined that the outcome will be an odd number out of the sample space. It's mean that the outcome may be 1, 3, 5. This is sure. It's mean that now we have to work on 1, 3, 5. So we will treat 1, 3, 5 this set as now our sample space. Okay, because it is already happened. And then the question will ask that what is the probability that the outcome is a, let's say, prime number. Okay, so outcome is a prime number, right? Now I have to find the probability of the outcomes to occur that particular outcome is a prime number. Now this event is already happened. It's mean that I have to check the outcomes out of these outcomes. It's mean that I have to check what is the probability of the prime number. It's mean that I will take the prime numbers out of these odd numbers. So I will only pick up those numbers which are prime in these odd numbers. So how many prime numbers in there? They are the two prime numbers, 3 and 5. So the sample space of prime number set will be 3 and 5. And in what sample space I have picked up these two numbers? In these three numbers. It's mean that this is the number of this sample space are 3, and the number of the sample space, let's say this is S dash are 2. It's mean that the probability of the occurrence of this event, probability of N dash, is nothing but 2 by 3, because the favorable event of the outcome is a prime number are 2 out of these three numbers, because it is predefined that the outcome is an odd number. So we will have to choose the numbers whose probability is to be asked out of which is already happened. So it's mean that this is a condition what we have given in the question, and such type of probability what I have found up till now is simply known as conditional probability, because I have worked under the condition what was given to me. So such kind of scenario is simply known as a conditional probability. If I talk about mathematical notation, or symbolization. So in mathematical notation, the conditional probability is simply denoted as, if I say that this event is B, which is already happened, let's say this event is B for convenient, and this event is A, whose probability is asked. Then I have found the probability of this event under the condition B. Then the probability of occurrence event A under the condition B is simply denoted as A by B. Sometimes this line is just marked as a slash, like a slash. Okay, so this is read as PA by B, or PA under B, or P of event A when event B is already happened. Okay, and the formula for this probability notation will be what? I have divided in the denominator, this is 3, and from where this 3 has come? This 3 has come from the sample space of that particular event which is already happened. So these are the 3 here. So 3 is nothing but the probability of that particular event which is predefined or which is already happened. And in the numerator you have to put the probability of that particular event in which both the events are common. This is A intersection B. This is the mathematical notation of the conditional probability of under condition B to occurrence of A, in which you can see here, as the event B is already happened, it means that it has a non-zero probability. It means that it has some probability which is non-zero and positive. It means that this value cannot be negative ever. Sorry, this value cannot be 0. It's because this event is already happened. It has something value that should be greater than 0 or positive. So this is the mathematical notation of the conditional probability. Here the probability of event A is found under the condition event B. Okay, now let's talk about some questions based on the conditional probability. First question is, 10 cards numbered 1 to 10 are placed in a box and mixed up thoroughly, and then one card is drawn randomly. If it is known that the number on the drawn card is more than 3, what is the probability that it is an even number? So in this question, as you can see here, one thing is known to us. It means that this is predefined, it is pre-happened, and the other thing is asked to us. So what is the thing which is predefined here? When the number, the card having the number 1 to 10 are mixed throughout and then put up in the box, and I pick up one card in that particular box, then it is predefined that the card which is drawn up has a number which is more than 3. It means that this is predefined, this event is predefined here. And then we have asked about the probability that it is an even number. It means that this is the event which will be occur under the condition this event. So for the convenient, I recommend to you that always regard that particular event which is given to you at the event B. Okay, for the convenient, not on the only the rocket science behind this mechanism. And the event whose probability is to be asked, you should regard that particular event as event A. So for the convenient, I will treat this event as A, which will be occur, and this event as B. Before begin to write the event A and event B, let us first put up the sample space associated with this random experiment. So the sample space of this random experiment, is 1 to 10 number. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 and 10. And these are the total 10 numbers. Okay. Now let us define the event. So we have the two events. Event A is the outcome is a number that is even number. So event that the number is an even number. This is an event A. And if I talk about event B is what? The number is more than 3. Okay, so event that the number is more than 3. This is event B. So let us put this event in mathematical notation. So event B will have the sample space out of these 10 numbers of sample space. So we have picked up only those numbers which are even in nature out of this sample space. So A will have these elements 2, 4, 6, 8 and 10 because these are the even number out of these 10 numbers. So this will have 2, 4, 6, 8 and of course 10. It means that the number of elements in event A are 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. These are the 5 numbers. And if I talk about the set or let's set of the event B, then that will have the numbers which are more than 3 out of these 10 given numbers. Okay, so I will put those numbers which are more than 3, and these are 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. These are 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 and 10. These are the number which relate to event B. And if I talk about number of elements in this event named as B are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. These are the 7 elements throughout. Okay. Now we have to find the probability to occurrence of event A under the condition of B. It means that I have to find P A by B, whose formula is nothing but P A intersection B and divided by P of B, where probability of event B is not equals to 0. Okay, so let us first one by one let us find the values of probability of event B and probability of A intersection B. It means that we should have the value of A intersection B. So let us first find the value of A intersection B. So A intersection B will be a new set in which we will have the numbers or elements which will be common in set A as well as in set B. Okay, so the numbers which are common in set A and set B are, we will start from 4. So this is 4 here, this is 6 here, this is 8 here, this is 10 here. So these are the number which are 4, 6, 8 and 10. So these are the numbers which comprise the set A intersection B. If I talk about the number of element in this set which is A intersection B, so these are 4 numbers. Okay, first of all we will find the independent probability of this event. It means that we will treat the event A, event B and event A intersection B as independent. And whenever we talk about the independent event, we have to compare the occurrence of these events with the general sample space of the random experiment which is given to us. It means that the probability of occurrence of event A will be what? That will be nothing but this will be 5 upon complete number of sample space 10. This is not our task, but you can find the value of phi of A again here. This is simple probability. This is independent probability of event A. Okay, and this is not asked, so I am not interested to write it as. I will write only here the probability of event B. Treating the event B is an event that is independent. Okay, so the probability of this will be number of favorable elements in set B and divided by the number of total elements in sample space. So that will be N of B. Number of elements at B are 7 and the total numbers in the sample space are 10. Similarly, I can find the value of probability of A intersection B. That will be the number of element in A intersection B and divide by number of total elements in sample space, and that is nothing but this is 4 and this is 10 again. Now I can put these two values in this equation. Let's say this equation is 1 here. So equation 1 will comprise as, so I am just writing here. So the probability of event A under condition B will be the probability of P intersection B, that is nothing but 4 upon 10, and divided by the probability of occurrence of B, and the probability of occurrence B we have already defined, this is 7 upon 10. The denominators are same, these are 10, so they will be cancelled out, the rest will be 4 upon 7. This is the probability of event A under the condition B. Let us figure out question number 2. Question number 2 is, a die is thrown twice and the sum of numbers appearing is observed to be 6. What is the conditional probability that the number 4 has appeared at least once? Again, in this question, the sum of numbers appeared is observed to be 6. This is given to us. It means that this is predefined, or this is already happened. And the probability that the number 4 has appeared at least once, this is the event whose probability we have to find. So for the convenient, I will treat this event as A and this event as B, because this has already happened. Okay, so let us first make a collection of all the elements of sample space associated with this random experiment in which a die is thrown twice. You should remember one thing, that when you toss or you roll a die twice and when you roll 2 dice simultaneously in both the random experiments, the sample space are same. Okay, so the total number of sample space will be 36, as you have studied about this in your 11th or 10th class, and the total elements will be 1 1 1 2 1 3 1 4 1 5 1 6 2 1 and so on and so forth up till 6 and 6. So they are the total 36. So let me return the event A in language. Event A is talking about 4 has appeared at least once. Okay, and if I talk about the event B is nothing but sum of 2 numbers or numbers are 6. Okay, so these are the 2 events about which we are concerning this question. So in order to simplify these events, let me put the total elements which are comprising the event A. So I have to pick up only those outcome out of these 36 total sample space in which 4 has appeared at least once. So in all the 36 elements in which 4 is appear at least once, one will be 1 4, another will be 2 4, another will be 3 4, and next will be 4 4, of course, next will be 5 4, and next will be 6 4. And if I talk about a series of 4, then that will have 4 1, 4 2, and 4 3, of course. 4 4 is already taken, and there will be 4 5 and 4 6. So they will be total number of elements associated with the event A. Let me count how many these are the number. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11. So total numbers are here 11. Okay. So the total number, let me put it as number of elements in event A are 11. Similarly, I can make a list of the total outcomes which are favorable to this event having a sum of 6. So in which 1 5 is there, which gives me the sum as 6, and 2 4 is there, 3 3 is there, 4 2 is there, 5 1 is there, and these are the total favorable event associated with the event B. Okay. Now if I talk about the number of elements, these are the 1 2 3 4 5, these are the total 5 elements in the event B. Okay. Now let us sort out the probability of occurrence A under the condition B. It's mean that we have to find the probability of A by B, which is nothing but P A intersection B, and this is P of B, where P of B is not going to equals to 0. Now you can see in the sample space of event A that it is justifying the condition which is given or not. It is saying that 4 has appeared at least once. It's mean that we have to collect only those elements out of these 36 sample space in which 4 is appeared at least once. So 4 is here, 4 4 4 4, here 4 is appeared 2 times, so no way. 4 has at least once, this is matter. 5 4 6 4 4 1 4 2 4 3 and 4 5 and 4 6 there also. So now we have to find the value of intersection B here. So if I talk about A intersection B, so I will get only those elements which are common in both the events A and B. So for the convenient, you can pick out these numbers in those event. So you can put only those numbers out of this B in which 4 is already happened or 4 is already appeared. This is 2 4, okay, and this is 4 2. So this is the number. If I talk about the number of elements in intersection of A and B, these are the two. In order to find the value of PAB, you should have the value of A intersection B probability and probability of B. So the probability of A intersection B is nothing but the number of total elements in A intersection B divided by number of total sample space. And the number of A intersection B are simply, these are total 2. And the number in sample space of the total outcomes of this random experiment are 36. Right, so this is 1 over 18. If I talk about the probability of occurrence of B, that will be number of total elements in B divided by number of total elements in the sample space. This will become number of total elements in B, so they are total 5 numbers, and divided by the number of total elements in sample space, they are already 36. If I put both the values in equation which is this one, let's say this is 1, I will get PAB equal the value of PA intersection B, which is 5 upon 36, and divided by the value of PB, and PB is nothing but 5 upon, okay, this value of A intersection B is 1 upon 18, sorry, this is 1 upon 18, and the value of P of B, this is 5 upon 36, right? If you write this as 1 upon 18 multiplied by 36 upon 5, you will get this is cancelled by 2 times and this is 2 upon 5, which is the required probability of this event. So on the course of such kind of questions in which conditional probability is to be found, when you come across such kind of questions, you will feel that all the questions can be understood by the common understanding as well. As you are supposing that event which already happened, it's mean that you can take it as base. It's mean that you do not need to have all the sample space associated with the random experiment. You should have only those number of sample space which are coming from the event which has already happened. Okay, so if I talk about the total number of favorable events in which 4 has appeared at least once, but they should be come from this event because this already happened, this should be fundamental for us. So I will pick up only those numbers having 4 at least once, and already their sum should be 6. So I will take only 2 4 and 4 2. 2 4 and 4 2, because 2 plus 4 give me 6, 4 and 2 give me 6, and in the both I will get 4 is appeared at least once. So they are the two numbers. Favorable events are 2, and out of what? Out of what? Out of this event, because this is already happened, so this is working as for me as a fundamental event. Okay, so the total number in these events are, these are the total 5 here. So I will divide this by 5. So by the common understanding, you can also find the value of such kind of questions in which no complexity is there. Okay, now let's move towards another question. Question number 3 is, two numbers are selected at random from the integers 1 through 9. If the sum is even, find the probability that both the numbers are odd. So this question is also like the earlier questions. So the random experiment is one that we have to pick up two numbers out of 1 to 9 numbers, and it is given that the sum of those two numbers is even. This is predefined to us, and we have to find the probability that both the numbers are odd number. It means that the probability of this event is to be found. So this event is A and this event is B. So whenever you see these questions in exams, first ensure which one event is A and B. Okay, and this is quite simple. Which is appearing as first in the first notation in the first sentence, that will be event as B, because this is already happened. And the probability whose event, the probability of event which is to be found, that should be A. Okay, so 1 to 9, if I talk about the sample space of this event, random experiment. So sample space, that will be 1 to 9. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 and 9. For the convenient, I am taking all the odd numbers at one side and the even numbers on the other side, because odd and even is concerned in this question. So sample space can also be written as 1, 3, 5 and 7 and 9 also, and here 2, 4, 6 and 8 will be there. So total number in the sample space are as 9. So these are total 9 numbers. And now we have to pick up on these events. So let me write the event A as well as event B. So if I talk about the event A and event B, so let me first write the event B. Event B is telling me the sum is even. It means that the two numbers which are picking up having a sum as even, and you are picking up the two numbers out of these 9 numbers, and the 9 numbers, some numbers are odd and some numbers are even. So we have to pick up only those numbers whose sum is even. It is not matter up till now the numbers are odd or even, because that particular situation is of later time. So I am taking the number of let me write it as, so the numbers which have sum as even will be in the form of odd plus odd. The sum of two odd numbers will give me as even number, and even plus even, the sum of two even number will be even. If I talk about one even plus one odd number, then this will always as odd. This is the basic nature of the algebra. So I will be interested to pick up only these two numbers, in which I can make this combination as well as this combination to get as even number. So it means that two numbers have to be picked. So the total number of ways selecting two numbers, two odd numbers, giving me sum as even, that will be concerned, as well as the two numbers which are even in nature will give me the even sum will also be concerned. So in this event is related to the event B. So I am taking the total numbers in event B as number of ways selecting two odd numbers out of total odd numbers in the sample space. So out of total odd numbers, how many odd numbers there are? There are the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 odd number and 4 even numbers. So number of ways selecting two odd numbers out of 5 odd numbers. That will be one criteria of event A, and plus, and there will be because their sum will be even, and the sum of the number of ways selecting two even numbers out of this four number, out of four number, let me write it as. So both the ways will give me the sum as even, but just confine one thing here, both the number what you are picking up should be come from these 9 numbers, not beyond the 9. Okay, so as you have the common idea of combination, the number of ways selecting two numbers out of some given numbers is simple. This is 5C2 because you have selected two numbers out of 5 numbers. If I talk about this one, so this is simply 4C2 because you have picked up two numbers out of 4 numbers. So this is about event B. Okay, if I talk about event A, then I have the total the two numbers should be odd. It means that I have to pick up only those numbers which are odd in nature. Okay, so the numbers which are odd in nature will come from this 5 number. And how many numbers are to be selected? Only 2 numbers. It means that number of selecting or number of ways selecting two odd numbers will be, how many they will be? They will be 5C2 because I will pick up the numbers out of this 5 odd number. This is certain here. Now if I talk about the common or intersection event of these two events, it means that A intersection B, then I will get what? The two number must be odd and their sum should be even. So that will comprise me A intersection B because these two things should be common in both events. It means that what is the thing which is common in this event as well as in this event. So in the both the events, this sentence is common. This is number of ways selecting two odd numbers out of 5 odd numbers. Similarly, number of ways selecting two odd numbers out of 5 numbers. So this is the common thing. It means that 5C2 are common in both. It means this is the A intersection B. If I talk about the probability of occurrence event A, then that will be what? That will be P of AB equals P of A intersection B divided by P of B, where P of B is not going to as equals to 0. Okay, so let me put the value of PA intersection B and PB. I have picked up the number of intersection B here, and this is the number of occurrence of event B. Now I have to put the probability of these two events. Okay, and I have only the number of these two events. So how should I get the probability of this event as well as of this event? So no, just relax here. That you have picked up these numbers out of the total numbers. So when I will divide in order to get the probability of A, let me write it as this will be number of A intersection B divided by number of total sample space. Okay, and this will be number of A number of B elements in B and divided by number of total elements in in the sample space S. Here we have selected two numbers out of the sample space. Again we have selected two numbers out of the sample space, and both are coming from the total 9 numbers. It means that they will be 9C2. So the value of NS here and NS here will be 9C2 and they will be cancelled out. So I will not write number of S. I will be only interested to write this one and that one. So I am putting the value of this. This is number of intersection V is simply 5C2 and divided by number of elements in B. These are 5C2 plus 4C2. In order to get the required probability, you can just solve this value, and this will be this will be 5C2. 5C2 can be expanded as 5 factorial divided by 5 minus 2 factorial multiplied by 2 factorial divided by 5C2. Again, this is 5 factorial upon 5 minus 2 factorial multiplied by 2 factorial plus 4c2. 4 factorial upon 4 minus 2 factorial and multiply by 2 factorial here. The 5 factorial can be written as 5 multiplied by 4 multiplied by 3 factorial divided by 5 minus 2 is 3 factorial multiplied by 2 factorial upon this is again 5 multiplied 4 multiplied by 3 factorial upon 3 factorial multiplied by 2 factorial and plus 4 multiplied by 3 multiplied by 2 factorial upon this is 2 factorial multiply 2 factorial. This 3 factorial is cancelled out by this 3 factorial. This is also cancelled out. This is cancelled out. Rest is, this will be, this 2 factorial is 2 into 1. So this will be 2, will be cancelled to 4 as 2 times. This will be 10 and divided by, this is again 10 here and plus, this is, if I divide 4 by 2 into 1, that will be 2. This is 2 3 ja 6. Okay, so this is 10 upon 16 or simply 5 upon 8. So this is the required probability of event A to occur under the condition B. Okay, so I think this is enough for this video to taking the 3 questions. Otherwise the video will be go longer. In the next video I will cover some basic theorems of conditional probability and some more questions based upon that. Okay.